Today we're going to talk about why you don't want other people to like you. I mean, today we're going to talk about fear of judgment, or why you want other people to like you. People are really unique in the way that we have culture. We're not exactly the only social animals out there, but we're unique in that our social system is really complex and really integral for our survival. It's not just moving as a pack or swimming in a swarm so that you don't get eaten by a shark. You rely on other people, even in the modern day, for basically everything. It might be your food that you get from the grocery store. Unless you are actually growing your own food 100% of the time, you're relying on other people to
grow it, to ship it to you, market it, get it in stores, bag it, and then you get in your car, which somebody else made. Somebody else mined the metals and manufactured it. Somebody designed that car. Somebody sold you the car, or somebody sold somebody else the car, and then you bought the car, and now you're driving home with your groceries. So
even in these very simple situations, there are so many hands that go into our world and our survival. And if you kind of think about prehistoric times, not fitting into the group meant you were gonna die. Like, actually. You would be cast out into the woods to fend for yourself, and most likely you're not going to make it. We need other people for survival, but we need that love and attention to survive and thrive. There was a phenomena that happened in orphanages, where these kids that never had parents and never had loving touches, because maybe the people that were in charge of it had so many kids that they never got the chance to actually interact with the kids on a personal level. Some of these kids would actually die, like, just from not being able to be loving and interact with other people. Not only that, okay, I'm getting distracted here again, but not only that, but they couldn't ever form healthy attachments. So even if they made it through their orphanage years, they were probably messed up for the rest of their lives. Kind of makes me wonder about, like, Harry Potter and, like, you know, like, most fiction books have orphan. Why is that? So anyway, it makes sense that we have it wired into us to want to fit into the group. So we are highly social. If you think about it, you can use the analogy of self-presentation can be much stronger than self-preservation in many examples. I mean, just take like a teenager doing something really stupid just to fit in with his or her peers. There's one experiment called the Solomon Asch experiment, where they have a group of people come into a room and only one of them is not actually part of the experiment. Now, what happens is they show this group of people different sized lines. And so for the first 1 or 2 rounds, they ask the people, please pick out the longest line. And for the first 1 or 2 rounds, everybody is going to pick the longest line. What's really interesting is that at some point, they have all the Confederates, or the people that are part of the experiment, pick a line that is not the correct answer. And what happens is most times people go along with what other people are saying, even though they know that is not the longest line. It's clear as day. And you have to wonder, like, how often does this happen in our society, like with, say, politics or something? If everybody in your group is saying something and you don't believe it, how often are you going to actually speak up? We have this really strong fear of judgment. We want to fit in. It's just wired into us. But sometimes that can really hurt us. People become so obsessed with other people's opinions of themselves. There's this theory called the looking glass self, where basically you understand yourself through the lens of other people. So what people tell you, you kind of take into account a lot. But not only that, it's not even what they're saying to you, it's what you imagine they're saying to you. Which is so stupid, because you're never going to know what somebody else is thinking about you. But it's something that we all do. So scientists have found that what you think of yourself and how friends describe you is actually quite similar. However, what you think your friends are thinking is oftentimes wrong. So you can see how silly it is to actually develop an emotional response to an illusion of what you think people are saying. In the end, it doesn't even really matter. And now this is something that I see almost everybody struggle with on some sort of level, unless they're a sociopath. Like I said earlier, it can often be really harmful. So I put together a list of things that might help you overcome your fear of judgment. I'll have to wait for the next episode for that, because I think this one is getting kind of long by now. So for now, I will leave you with this. I often judge other people by things that I judge in myself. And I often judge myself through what I think other people are perceiving of me. It's all my own self-judgment. So, first of all, if you feel judgmental of something, you can kind of look at yourself and be like, where is that inside of me? And also, if somebody is judging you, you can kind of assume that maybe they have similar problems with whatever they're saying. So, basically, don't take anything too personally.